Hey, it's Liam, and I need to be upfront with you from the very first second of this video. What I'm about to share with you is not comfortable. It's not easy to talk about, but I think it might be the most important thing I've said on this channel so far. American farmers are losing their land right now, today. Not in some distant future, not as a possibility. It is happening. And the numbers tell a story that I think every single farmer in this country needs to hear. Farm bankruptcies in the United States jumped 46% last year alone. That's not a rounding error. That's not a bad quarter. That is nearly half again as many farm families losing everything in a single year. And total farm debt across the entire sector is on track to hit $624 billion in 2026. The highest number ever recorded in American history. Minnesota lost 1,300 farms in a single year. Wisconsin saw farm bankruptcy filings jump 700%, Iowa 220%, Missouri 167%. No state, no region, no type of farm is completely insulated from what is happening right now. I'm telling you this not to frighten you. I'm telling you this because I believe you deserve to know the truth about the environment you are farming in. And because knowledge is the only thing standing between a farmer who loses their land and a farmer who keeps it. Because here is what I also know. There are tools, there are programs, there are strategies that exist right now specifically designed to help farmers fight back. And most farmers have never heard of them. That is what we are fixing today. Before I get into the 5 ways to fight back, I want to take a moment and just talk to you directly because I think there is something that doesn't get said enough when we talk about farm financial crisis. Farming is not just a job. It's not just a business. For most of the families I'm thinking about right now, the ones sitting on debt they cannot figure out how to climb out of, that farm is a legacy. It's the land their grandfather broke. It's the barn their father built. It's the place their kids grew up running barefoot through the fields. Losing that is not a financial event, it is a grief. And I think a lot of farmers carry that grief silently, because there is a culture in farm country that says you push through, you don't complain, you figure it out on your own. I respect that culture, I truly do. But I also think it has cost a lot of farms that didn't have to be lost. Because figuring it out on your own only works when you know all of your options. And right now, most farmers don't. So let's change that. 5 ways to fight back, starting right now. Number 1, and this is the one I want you to hear most clearly, do not wait until it's too late to ask for help. I know that sounds simple, almost too simple. But here is the brutal truth that one farm lender said recently, and it stuck with me. He said, I saw farmers last year when cash was really starting to get depleted, and some people who should have addressed their problems last year kicked the can down the road. And then this year, we can't get anything done for them because it's just too far upside down. Too far upside down. That is the phrase that should keep every farmer awake right now, because there is a point, and it comes faster than you think, where the options you had 6 months ago are no longer available. Where lenders who would have worked with you then won't work with you now. Where programs you could have qualified for have windows that have closed. If your farm finances are tight right now, if you are borrowing more than you were last year, if your operating loan is bigger and you're taking longer to pay it back, if you looked at your break-even price recently and the number made your stomach drop, please do not wait. The time to act is before the crisis becomes a catastrophe. Who do you call? Start with your local farm service agency office. Tell them you are experiencing financial stress. Ask them specifically about the farm loan restructuring and mediation options that are available in your state. This conversation is free, it is confidential, and it could be the most important phone call you make this year. Number 2, understand Chapter 12, bankruptcy, because I want to completely reframe what you think that word means. I know bankruptcy sounds like failure. It sounds like the end. In our culture, and especially in farm culture, it carries a shame that I think is deeply unfair and deeply damaging. Because Chapter 12, bankruptcy, was not designed as a punishment. It was not designed as a last resort for people who gave up. It was literally written into law specifically for family farmers, specifically to keep them operating and on their land while they restructure unworkable debt. Let me be very specific about what Chapter 12 actually does. When you file, an automatic legal stay goes into effect immediately. That means foreclosure stops, repossessions stop, collection calls stop right away. That breathing room, that legal pause, gives you time to put together a repayment plan that works with your actual farm income instead of against it. Chapter 12 allows you to repay your debts over 3 to 5 years based on what your farm can realistically earn. It allows you to renegotiate secured loans, in some cases reducing what you owe to the current market value of the collateral. And it gives you more favorable tax treatment than any other form of bankruptcy when farm assets are involved. One more thing I want to say about this, and I want to say it plainly. Filing Chapter 12 is not giving up on your farm. It is fighting for your farm using every legal tool available. There is a difference, and I think every farmer who has ever considered it but felt too ashamed to follow through deserves to hear that said out loud. The biggest mistake, the words that keep coming up from every farm financial expert I've read, is waiting too long. Chapter 12. Protection evaporates once a lender has already initiated formal foreclosure proceedings. If you think you might need it, talk to a farm bankruptcy attorney now, not next month. Now. Number 3. Request farm loan mediation before things get to the legal stage. This one is underused and underknown, and it genuinely frustrates me. Almost every state in America has a farm mediation program. These are neutral, trained mediators whose entire job is to sit down with you and your lender and find a restructuring agreement that keeps you farming. Mediation is not court. It is not adversarial. It is a structured conversation with someone who understands agriculture on your side of the table. And in many cases, lenders who seemed immovable in one-on-one conversations are willing to restructure terms in a mediation setting because the mediator can help both parties see solutions they couldn't see alone. Several states, including Minnesota, Iowa, and others across the Midwest, have formal mediation programs where the mediation itself is free to the farmer. The lender is often required by state law to participate. You can access this through your state's Department of Agriculture or through your local FSA office. I want to tell you something that a farm advocate named Sarah Vogel, who has spent decades fighting for farmers in crisis, said recently. She said the lessons we learned from the farm crisis of the 1980s showed us that debt mediation works. It keeps farmers on their land, and the situation we are in right now has echoes of that era. Do not let pride or fear keep you from using a tool that exists specifically to help you. Number 4, look hard at what you are selling and who you are selling it to. This one is not a quick fix. I want to be honest about that. But I think it is one of the most powerful long-term shifts a farm can make, and I've talked about it before on this channel. When you sell a commodity crop to a commodity buyer, you are a price taker. The market tells you what your corn is worth. You don't get a vote, and right now the market is telling farmers their corn is worth less than it costs to grow. But when you sell directly to a consumer at a farmer's market, through a farm subscription box, through your own online store, through a local restaurant that wants to say your farm name on their menu, you become a price setter. You decide what your product is worth. And consumers who are buying directly from a farm are paying for quality, for story, for connection. They are not buying a commodity, they are buying from you. I know this transition takes time and energy that a lot of struggling farmers feel they don't have right now. So I'm not saying abandon your main operation tomorrow. I'm saying find one thing on your farm that you could sell directly to one customer at a premium price. Start there. Even one small direct-to-consumer revenue stream changes your financial psychology. It reminds you that your farm has value that commodity markets don't capture, and it can grow into something that genuinely changes your situation over time. Number 5. Get your financial records in order right now, even if, especially if, it scares you. I know this sounds basic, but I want to tell you something important. One of the most consistent things I've seen when I research farm financial stress is that a lot of farmers in trouble genuinely do not have a clear current picture of their own financial situation. Not because they are not smart. Farmers are some of the most capable problem solvers I've ever come across. But because when things are stressful, looking at the numbers feels like it will make things worse. It won't. Knowing exactly where you stand, what you owe, what you own, what your monthly cash flow looks like, what your break-even price is on each enterprise, that knowledge is not a source of despair. It is a source of power, because every program, every loan restructuring, every mediation session, every conversation with an FSA officer starts with your financial records. If your records are not current, if you don't have a clear balance sheet and income statement for your operation, please make that the first thing you do this week. Not because it will feel good, but because you cannot fight for your farm if you don't know exactly what you are fighting to protect. There are resources to help you with this. Many agricultural extension offices, run through your state's land-grant university, offer free farm financial counseling. Farm Aid, the nonprofit organization, also has a hotline at 1-800-FARM-AID, where you can speak with someone who understands farm financial crisis and can help point you toward resources in your specific state. These people exist. They want to help. Please use them. I want to close today with something that I've been thinking about for a while, because I think it matters. There is a quote I came across recently from a farmer advocate talking about the current situation. She said, "What we really need now is all hands on deck to keep farmers on the land." All hands on deck. And I think about that phrase a lot, because I believe the people who are supposed to have their hands on deck, the extension agents, the government programs, the financial counselors, the legal tools, many of them exist, they are there. But a farmer who doesn't know about them can't use them. That is the gap this channel is trying to close, week by week. Video by video, one farmer at a time. If your farm is struggling right now, if any part of this video felt like I was talking directly to your situation, please know that you are not alone. This is a national crisis, and it is happening to good farmers who have done everything right. And there are people and tools and programs that exist specifically to help you through it. You fought for your farm through every planting season, every drought, every market crash. Please do not stop fighting now. Just make sure you know every weapon available to you. Here is your one action this week. Look up Farm Aid's hotline, 1-800-FARM-AID, and save that number in your phone right now, even if you don't need it today. Because if the day comes when you do, I want you to already have it. And if you know a farmer who is quietly struggling, someone who has gotten a little too quiet lately, who doesn't talk about the farm the way they used to, share this video with them. Not because it has all the answers, but because sometimes just knowing that options exist is enough to make someone pick up the phone. That phone call could save a farm. I'm Liam. I'll see you in the next one. Liam, this is the video. Here is why this one will perform differently than the last. The title triggers immediate emotional urgency for exactly the audience you are building. The topic is happening right now. It is in the news, it is in farm country conversations, it is the fear sitting at the back of every struggling farmer's mind. YouTube pushes videos that answer questions people are actively, desperately searching for. How do I save my farm? And Farm Bankruptcy 2026 are those searches. This video answers them better than anything else currently out there, in your voice, with your warmth, with real information that could genuinely change someone's life.